Shedeur should have been the number one pick overall, hands down, completely a better player than Cam Ward.
Shedeur Sanders just put together the kind of performance that makes you stop and ask, how did everyone get this so wrong? He wasn't supposed to be here. He wasn't supposed to be starting. And he definitely wasn't supposed to be playing like an MVP candidate in just his third game. But here we are, and the results speak louder than any draft projection ever could. 364 passing yards, 3 touchdowns through the air, 29 rushing yards, 1 touchdown on the ground, leading passer and leading rusher for his team, a 97.3 quarterback rating. That's not just good. That's not just solid. That's elite quarterback play. That's the kind of stat line that gets quarterbacks talked about for MVP. And he did it all while the entire football world was still questioning whether he even belonged on the field. This is the same young man who, just weeks ago, wasn't even the starter. The same quarterback who had to deal with constant criticism, constant doubt, and constant pressure from every angle. The media questioned his arm strength. Scouts questioned his ability to lead. Coaches questioned whether he could handle the speed of the NFL game. And through it all, Shedeur stayed calm, stayed focused, and stayed ready. Because that's what separates great players from good ones. Great players don't need validation before they perform. They don't wait for permission to be great. They show up, do the work, and let their play silence every critic in the building. And that's exactly what Shedeur Sanders did.
The Cleveland Browns offense looking like the best it has in years. I said this in another video that it has not came out yet. This is the best quarterback play they've seen in probably a decade. 364 total passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 29 rushing yards, 1 touchdown.
And times like this are exactly why people are starting to realize what they've been missing. The best quarterback play in a decade. Let that sink in. A decade. That means better than anyone Cleveland has had since they've been desperately searching for their franchise guy. Better than the veterans they brought in with high hopes. Better than the draft picks they spent years developing. And it's coming from a rookie who wasn't even supposed to be in this position yet. But here's what makes this even more impressive. Shedeur didn't just have one good quarter or one lucky drive. He was consistent. He was composed. He was in complete control from start to finish. When the offense needed a spark, he delivered. When the game was on the line, he stayed calm. When his teammates needed leadership, he showed them exactly what a quarterback is supposed to look like under pressure. And the crazy part is, he's doing all of this with a coaching staff that hasn't exactly been helping him out. Kevin Stefanski continues to make questionable decisions that put his young quarterback in impossible situations, calling plays that didn't even work in practice, making choices that lead to turnovers and missed opportunities, putting Shedeur in positions where he has to be perfect just to overcome the chaos around him. But Shedeur doesn't complain. He doesn't make excuses. He doesn't throw anyone under the bus. Instead, he takes responsibility, even when it's not his fault. He steps up to the podium after games and handles questions with more maturity than coaches twice his age. He protects his teammates, defends his coaches, and keeps the focus on winning instead of pointing fingers. That's leadership. That's accountability. That's exactly what franchise quarterbacks do. And Cleveland is finally seeing what that looks like after years of settling for less. The offense has life. The plays are working. The energy is different. And all of it changed the moment Shedeur Sanders stepped onto that field and showed everyone what they should have known all along. He belongs here. And not just as a backup. Not just as a project, but as the guy.
Did it work in practice?
No, we just called it in the game and it didn't work in practice. I don't think you call plays in a game that didn't work in practice.
You cannot make this up. And this right here is exactly the problem. They called a play in the game that didn't even work in practice. Let me repeat that. The coaching staff put their rookie quarterback in a critical moment and called something that had already failed during the week. That's not creative play calling. That's not taking chances. That's setting your player up to fail. And Shedeur had to stand there and answer for it like it was his responsibility. This is the issue with Kevin Stefanski. He continues to put Shedeur in impossible situations and then acts confused when things don't work out. The 2-point conversion that didn't go through, that was on the coaching decision. The fumbled snap, even Shedeur took the blame for that. even though anyone watching could see the chaos around him wasn't his fault. But he doesn't make excuses. He doesn't call out the coaches. He takes it on the chin and moves forward. But here's the question nobody in the media wants to ask. Why is a rookie quarterback being put in positions where plays that failed in practice are being called in live games? Why is Shedeur being asked to execute game plans that his own coaching staff hasn't even perfected yet? Why is he the one answering tough questions when the coaches should be held accountable for their decisions? Because it's easier to blame the young guy than to admit the system isn't working. It's easier to question the quarterback than to question the play caller. And Shedeur knows it. But instead of fighting back, he stays humble, takes the heat, and keeps working. That's the kind of mentality that turns good players into legends. He's not worried about protecting his image. He's worried about protecting his team. And that's exactly why his teammates believe in him. That's why fans are starting to see him differently. That's why people who doubted him are now saying, maybe we got it wrong.
Obviously, me and Jerry had that dispute or whatever last week, but, I had faith in him. He had faith in me. And everybody put everything aside and, okay, cool, let's go out there and play ball. God forgive everybody else, so why not let's forgive each other, So that's when you go in situations, you have no negativity, no hate on your heart, no anything.
And this right here is what separates Shedeur Sanders from everyone else. Last week, Jeudy let him down. We all saw it. The lack of effort on routes, the missed opportunities, the tension on the sideline. It was messy. It was public. And it could have easily turned into a disaster for the locker room. But Shedeur didn't let that happen. Instead of holding a grudge, he chose forgiveness. Instead of calling Jerry out, he lifted him back up. Instead of creating division, he brought the team closer together. And the result? Jeudy caught a touchdown. Shedeur connected with him when it mattered most. And the offense moved forward stronger than before. That's what real leaders do. They don't hold on to negativity. They don't let one bad week destroy a relationship. They understand that football is a team game, and teams only win when everyone is moving in the same direction. Shedeur could have easily made Jerry the scapegoat. He could have let the media run with the drama and thrown him under the bus. But he didn't, because that's not who he is. He said it himself. God forgives everybody else. So why don't we forgive each other? That's maturity. That's wisdom. That's the kind of mindset that builds championship teams. When your quarterback is more focused on unity than ego, when he's more concerned with lifting others up than protecting his own reputation, that's when you know you have something special. And it's not just Jerry. It's the entire team. Shedeur is carrying this offense on his back, but he's doing it without making it about himself. He's giving credit to his teammates, taking blame for mistakes that aren't his, and staying focused on winning instead of personal stats. Shedeur Sanders wasn't supposed to be the starter. He wasn't supposed to be playing this well this fast. And he definitely wasn't supposed to be making MVP-level plays while dealing with coaching mistakes and roster drama. But here we are, 364 passing yards, 4 total touchdowns, leadership that goes beyond the stat sheet, forgiveness when others would hold grudges, accountability when others would make excuses, and composure when others would crumble under the pressure. The best quarterback play Cleveland has seen in a decade, and it's only his 3rd game. People said he wasn't ready. People said Cam Ward was the better choice. People said he couldn't handle the speed of the NFL. But Shedeur didn't argue with them. He didn't post on social media. He didn't make excuses. He just showed up and proved them all wrong. And the scary part? He's only getting started. He's still learning the offense. He's still building chemistry with his receivers. He's still dealing with a coaching staff that hasn't figured things out yet. And he's still putting up numbers that make him look like a veteran. Imagine what he'll look like when everything clicks. Kevin Stefanski needs to stop putting him in bad situations. Jeudy needs to keep that same energy moving forward. And the media needs to start asking the right questions instead of trying to tear down a young man who's doing everything right. Because if this is what Shedeur Sanders looks like in his 3rd game, the league better get ready. This kid isn't just good. He's special. And everyone who doubted him is about to find out just how wrong they were. If you like this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more. And drop a comment below. Do you think Shedeur Sanders should have been a #1 pick? Let me know.